SwiftUI video. Today we are going to learn for each. As the name suggests, for each basically loops through all the elements you give to it, and for each element, it is going to return a SwiftUI view. For example, if you have multiple order items or multiple orders you want to display on the screen, you can use a for each to loop through all the orders, and for each order you can display a row, an image, or something else. You can also loop through an image, objects, etc. So let's try with the most basic one. So for example, we have a list of SF symbols. So SF symbol names. Remember, SF symbol are system symbols. That's provided by Apple. So see, we have a check mark, circle fill. We can also have like an X mark. We can have a something like a bicycle, right? We can have, let's try one more. So we can have a Swift icon. So now, within the body, remember, we can only have one view at a time. So we can only have one view within the body. So this time, for example, we want to display all the SF symbols in a horizontal manner. We can use a horizontal stack, which is an H stack. So within here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to loop through the SF symbol names and display a SwiftUI view for each of the symbol names. Okay, so I'm just going to use a for each here. Now, within the parentheses, I'm going to put my data, which is the collection, which is in this case the SF symbol names. Now, I also need to provide an ID as described in the list. So similar to list, for each can reuse the views if two items have the same ID. So in this case, we want to make sure the ID is unique for each item. So here, we have an ID. Remember to use this slash and then dot. So we want to use the string itself as the ID because each string, each symbol name is different. So for each of these elements, and then here, right in the block, we provide the SF symbol name. So that's basically for each of these, we're gonna represent one of this object or each of this object as an SF symbol name, and within this block you are gonna return the view that will be used for this object, this single SF symbol name object. So here we're just gonna do a system name with the SF symbol name. Alright, so as you can see on the screen, we have now displayed all the four symbols on the screen. Now, I can also apply a view modifier for the image as we learned before. So for example, the font is large title, and now you can see that it is displayed in a larger size. So that's essentially for each. For each loops through some data structure, and then you also need to provide an identifier for each of the structure. You can either do that by inline within the for each parentheses, or alternatively, if it's a custom structure, or if it's if you want to avoid writing this ID inline, you can create an extension for the string, and then we can have it conform to identifiable, and within the ID we define ID. So just put the variable with the name exactly look like ID. So lowercase ID, and SwiftUI recognize this as a identifier. So the ID is just the variable itself or the string itself. Now if you show a warning here, because a string is a public protocol, so just click on fix to mark this as public, and now we can avoid writing this ID parameter within for each initializer. So do know that this is also usable for your own structure. So for example, if you have a structure called order status, you can say extension order status identifiable, and then define ID, for example return self.order ID, etc. Alright, so that's basically for each. It loops through all the elements within a collection, and then just remember the basic structure for each parenthesis, the name of the collection, and then a code block start, and then within here you write the name, or this is actually like a new variable where you want to you can name it whatever you want to. So for example here, SF symbol name, and then this is the each for each of the element, the view that is going to be used for each of the element. And then for example here, I'm returning an image with a system name of SF symbol name, which is one of the elements here, which is the name of a SF symbol. All right, see you in the next video.